About 6 months ago, I started trading the Stratos Goldwin, a free gold EA from the MQL5 marketplace, and I recorded a video about it. But after placing it onto a demo account, it almost immediately went negative. But I left it to trade, and it not only recovered, but made some great profits. In this video, I'll show you the platform, my FX Blue track record, and share my plans for this EA moving forward with new settings. And I'll give you the brand new set file I created that showed really good results on the backtest. Let's get into it. So on my screen, you can see the Stratos Goldwin on the MQL5 marketplace, and I wanted just to show you the reviews and the comments that it has received, and you'll see that it has a rating of 4.72 and it's got a lot of reviews and a lot of comments. If you look a little bit down, what you'll see is that the developer actually put something here where it says unlock exclusive benefits, leave a review and contact me via MQL5 message to receive exclusive set files. So just based on this message that he left here, it's a little bit difficult to trust these reviews and know if they're real or if they were placed there by users simply to get a set file. Nonetheless, it did have a good rating, and with the reviews I decided to test it. So I placed it onto my trading platform and I will show it to you here. So you can see that if I scroll all the way up to the top, you'll see that I placed this EA onto the chart on the 26th of November. So it's almost exactly 6 months that it's been trading. Now, initially you'll see that we had a few profitable trades, then there was a few losing trades, profitable, losing. So it was very much up and down. If we run through it, you'll see there was big batches of losing trades as well. If we look a little bit lower, you'll see that there were some pretty significant losses. If we look at it like here, for example, quite a lot of losing trades, but it kept going and then it did eventually start running into some very profitable times. We can see is that at the end of the 6 months, we have a gross profit of almost $3,000 with a net profit of just under 2,500. Okay, so about 25%. So let's take a look at the FX Blue track record so we can see a little bit more detail. And what you'll see is that, as I said, I placed it on, it was stagnant for a little while, and then it just kind of went into this losing phase, lost about 8 or 9%, recovered a little bit from that, then it was stagnant just under the starting balance, and then it really started making really decent profits. You can see that it peaked out right here, which was at the beginning of this month. You can see it was doing really well, and then with the recent volatility, it obviously didn't like the way the market was moving, and it started losing a little bit again with some gains and mostly losses, and it looks like it is starting to recover again a bit here. So at the peak of the profitability, we had about 50% in profit, and it has lost some of that. So I went back and decided that while I am happy and I do want to leave this EA to keep running and see what it does in a longer period, I am going to change the set file. So I spent quite a lot of time looking at settings and changing them, and I'm going to show that to you in a second. But one thing I do want to point out that is quite important is if you actually look at this, I placed this EA in November, and it really only started profiting in March, right? So that's 4 months. Now, what a lot of traders will do is they'll place an EA onto a chart, they'll leave it for a little bit, they'll see losses, and maybe somewhere around here, they'll actually just remove the EA. Now, I can understand that it can be frustrating and it can even be quite scary and emotional when you see that your EAs are losing. However, because I did the backtest, and if you missed that, I'll leave a link to the first video down below in the description. Because of the backtest that I did, I could actually see that this EA, or at least the settings that I had for this EA on that particular backtest, wasn't very smooth. It wasn't like a typical grid system where you just see it going up and up and up and up and up like that. It's going up and down because the settings I used were a little bit more conservative. They're a little bit safer. So you can actually see that the equity line followed the balance line quite closely, but it would zigzag. So up and down, which is a much more realistic backtest. So based on that, I wasn't too concerned. And then, as I said, there was this period of stagnation here where nothing really happened, and then it started profiting. So that's why backtests are so important, because while past performance doesn't guarantee future performance, it does give you an idea of what to expect. So even if you do go into a drawdown, you know that just based on the past, it might be a month or two or less, but usually it does recover, and that just gives you a little bit of confidence to maybe just wait it out a little bit longer and just see what happens before removing the EA from your chart. Now, I am trading this EA on Eightcap, and there's a very good reason for that. If we look at Eightcap, firstly, they are exceptionally well regulated. They are a very good broker. We've never had any issues with deposits or withdrawals. Their trading conditions are definitely favorable. If we go to trading, you'll see that they offer Forex, commodities, indices, equities, shares, and crypto. And if we go to commodities, what I want to show you is on gold. Look at the spread. This is absolutely tiny. And this is confirmed on my chart. If I show you my chart where I'm running this, what you will see is that we do in fact have a tiny little spread here. So that is absolutely critical when trading any strategy, but particularly expert advisors and gold. And then of course, depending on how you trade, you've got the option of trading with TradingView or MetaTrader 5. So if you want to trade with expert advisors like we do, MetaTrader 5 is a great option. If you prefer charting and doing manual trading, then TradingView is also a really good option for you. Let's come back to FX Blue very quickly so I can show you some of the stats here. So what you'll see is that overall, even with the losses that we experienced, you'll see that we're still getting around 1% a week with a monthly return of just under 4%, which is really very good. Profit factor 1.18, so still a profitable strategy after all the time. And the rest of the stats we can see here. If we go into the strategy, you can have a look through all of these. I will leave a link to this FX Blue track record down below in the description so you can have a look whenever you want. Okay, let's go to our platform. Now, as I said, I am happy with the performance. However, I wanted something that was a little bit smoother. I wanted something that was more consistent. So I spent a lot of time playing around with the settings, playing around with the set file, and I want to show you the set file that I created, or the settings that I created. So we're going to see that we are trading gold. It is on the H1 time period. We are going to test this for more or less the last year. So from May of last year to May of this year. We're going to go to the inputs and I'm going to load the set file that I created. I'll run through the settings in a second with you. Let's just quickly load the set file. Okay, here it is here. And let's quickly run a backtest. So I'm going to hit start. Okay, let's have a look at the chart. And what you can see is, okay, so there's a little bit of a drawdown here, nothing too significant. This does look quite bad, but it's only about 4%. So let's just let this run very quickly and we'll see what the results are at the end of it. Okay, and what we can see is that at the end of our year backtest, we have a net profit of just under 35%, which is really quite incredible. So that's about just under 3% a month. But more importantly, and this is really what I was looking for, look at our equity drawdown. It is only 5.5%. Like that is exactly what I wanted. So I'm super happy with this and I'm going to load the set file onto my chart now. Before we do, one thing I wanted to show you, the most important thing for me, one of the things I was really looking for on this backtest was how would it have performed in the most recent volatility. And you can see that there was the small drawdown here, but as you saw, it was under 6%. And you can see that it was really performed really, really well. So this is a really good looking equity line. So let's go back to our EA. And what we're going to do is we are going to load the set file. And how we do that is we're just going to click on here. We're going to go to the properties of the Stratos Goldwin. I'm going to click on load. And then I'm going to select that set file that I just showed you. So here it is here. Open. And as promised, I will share the set file with you. I will leave a link to it down below in the description. Okay, so that's it. The new set file is loaded. And if you have used this EA and you have any suggestions, please let me know down in the comments. And if you want to see more reviews or get more free robots and the set files that we used, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. So that's it for now. We're going to let this run for a little while and see how it performs over the next month or two. And hopefully it performs as well as the backtest show that it will. And as mentioned, if you want to keep an eye on how it is performing, I will leave a link to the FX Blue account down below in the description. I'll also leave links to the robot and my new set file so you can try it. And of course to Eightcap so that you can test it in exactly the same environment that I'm testing it. Remember to always backtest first though with your trading capital amount, the leverage, and the broker that you're going to use. If you want to see another free EA that has been performing really well for me, check out this video. And until then, thanks for watching, trade safe, and I'll see you soon.